Hello Libra, due to technical difficulties, I need to split up this video in two parts. I had some problem with my cam. So the first group, the shell group, is in the first video, and here you can find the three remaining groups being the fire group, the air group, and the stone group. So these two videos are separated. You can find all the other three here. So enjoy your card reading for the month of December. Hello Libra, and welcome to the Aerosol on the air group for your card readings. As I mentioned in the intro of the video, if you want to see the shell or the water group, just check the video that is single here. Anyway, for this card reading for the air group, the first card that we see here is the ship. The ship is a card about traveling, that we are longing for certain things, that we are hoping for certain things. There's also could be a strong wishing, longing for something. Normally, this is about traveling. We have a strong longing for traveling, and probably the longing for traveling is there. But normally, I would say this is so. But here we have the coffin next to it, and the coffin means if you're about to take a trip or a journey or a spiritual journey, or about to learn something, experience in your life, these will be delayed, because the coffin tends to delay things. So it's if you have planned a trip, probably this trip will come later than expected. With the cross next to it, it's meant to be, and it's probably for the best. Later on, you will see why, but sometimes with the coffin, it's not exactly clear, because the coffin, it stays closed till it points out. But this has a deep reason, it has a spiritual, and it has a maybe a religious reason why this is all postponed. The coffin is a psychological card, so it means that maybe for this trip we are not yet ready, or our mind or our soul is not yet ready for taking this journey. Anyway, coming back here to the second card, the central card, then here the central card is the clovers. Here we see normally there's a lot of protection over us. If things are not happening now, it has a protection. So both these cards protecting you here. It brings a lot of positivity, even if the situation is very difficult. The direct wishes and hopes might be delayed, but it doesn't mean that you don't have a protection over you. Here we need to have faith in the future, and that this journey is going to happen. And it will happen because it's destined to be. If we have the cross, it's destined to be. It doesn't mean that it's not delayed. Then we're going to mirror the cards immediately. So here we see the ship and the cross. The ship and the cross means that this trap is destined to happen. It's going to be like that, but you need to be, or you need to come in the right psychological mindset here. Some transformations in your life are going on. Sometimes it points also that certain ventures that we have, certain businesses that we have could end, and this could all be meant to be. It's possible also with this combination that we are about to exploring new religions, new spirituality, a different form of spirituality. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Also, we see it's possible also that because you cannot travel immediately, it brings a certain suffering here. This is what we are seeing with this combination here. If you are traveling, also, it could be not easy, this travel. Maybe there's some difficulties that are showing up, or some delays. Even if you are traveling, there would be some delays. There's something that we need to learn during this trip. It's possible that this trip is not only a trip that we are taking with a certain purpose, but also it could have a spiritual, or it's like, how do we say this? Here it's like, we travel on a pilgrimage here, a religious journey here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible if you take this trip, this is for a very long time, or for some of you, it might be that you never return to the place where you are now. It's not gonna be easy to make this trip, or what we are experiencing now. There's a longing here, a strong longing, I know, for traveling, but for now it's delays. Also, when you take this trip, you will see that all the responsibilities before are taken here. This is what we see here also. Anyway, we leave some certain things behind. We will make changes. Maybe we are in the process of changing here, and we are not ready for this journey, because this is an important step in our life. This is a big change in our life, because we have the bear here, and the bear is a big animal. He's heavy. The cross is heavy. When the changes come with the bear, they are big changes. And here with the cross, it goes with responsibilities. So maybe for now, for the time being, you're not yet ready up for these changes. So this could be a temporary delay that we are experiencing here. Then we have, we're gonna cross the bottom cards here, the bottom corners. We have the rider and the whip here. Here we see that we are in a difficult phase of our life. It's possible also that some news is coming to us that is not easy, difficult news. We are suffering because some news that we are getting here. It also points again to obstacles that we are experiencing. Body-like, it's possible that we could be confronted with some pain in our body. This is possible, especially when we are moving here with this combination. This points sometimes also to a very energetic person. Maybe you overdone it a little bit in your training, in your practicing, because the bear sometimes it points to a lot of physical strength. So here it's possible that we overtrained ourselves and we are in physical pain. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Maybe this person is very physically active and we overdone it a little bit. Sometimes this is what we see here with this combination. This can also point that we are about to enter certain sexual encounters here. This is what we are seeing here. With this combination, sometimes also we need to see that some people are not approaching us in an aggressive way, or they are aggressive towards us. In another way, if we are, for instance, connected to combat sports, this is a very good combination. If you're into combat sports, this is a very positive combination that could really relieve you to be in this here. If you are in combat sport or something that is very assertive, that is very requires a lot of energy here that we are seeing here. There could be some arguments with people here, but since you have the key in the middle, mostly the key finds a solution for certain arguments. If you are in certain steps of your physical training, this means that doors will open. If you're, for instance, now for temporary in pain, or you're not, or you overdone it a little bit, here the key brings solution. It will be only a temporary delay here that you are experiencing. It might be not the right time, but sometimes with the cross, it's destined to be, and maybe this whole situation is destined to be, and later on you will realize why this is exactly happening now. Anyway, there could be some feedback here coming to you. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible also that somebody else was involved in this pain that you have, and you blame the other person and he blames you. So you blame each other here for this problem that is occurring. But as I said, it will be worked out here. Then we have the trip and the coffin. Here we see, as I mentioned earlier, that this trip is delayed here, possibly even canceled and then rescheduled. If we are in certain businesses, it's possible that certain businesses that we have, that they are delayed, or that we stop certain businesses that we have. Here we see again that we need to take care of our health. And if it's on the moving area, we are like unable to move a lot. Maybe we are temporarily blocked. We cannot temporarily move, but this is only, this is not for a long period, but it's destined to be. Maybe we need to stay in the bed for a while, because sometimes the coffin can represent the bed. So maybe we, because of this problem, this physical problem that we are having, we need to stay in the bed. This is sometimes also what we can see here. It's possible also that we have connections or even a residence abroad. And here this points that we are not in abroad, but we want to go there. We long for it. Maybe we have affairs, business affairs, or connections in abroad with certain people. Maybe there's a partner there from us that we are longing for. This partner might be connected to our business. This is what we are seeing here. Or it can also point that we have certain monies in abroad, and maybe there are some difficulties with these monies. It doesn't mean necessarily they are disappearing, but maybe they are hard to reach. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, it's possible here that you need to travel abroad, but you actually cannot. And this makes you suffer also. This is what we are seeing here. And here also, temporary we cannot explore. We see the same here also. There is some grief here coming over us. Then we have the coffin and the cross. Here we see with this combination, a part of the reason to travel here that somebody has maybe passed on physically. So here this could point to a physical death, but here we see that the person is still close to us. So this then would be the person that is on his journey to the other side. But we see here that this person is still very close to us. He is still watching over us. This is what we see here. We could have some difficult times here, some darker sides of us here because of this grieving here. But here we see there's an after this period of grieving and standstill, sometimes with the coffin we think nothing is moving, but this is a very wrong interpretation of the coffin. The coffin is things are temporary on a hold, but inside psychologically there's a lot of happening. Nothing stays the same. But here the situation is changing literally to the bottom. Here things will not come back. For instance, if you change business, the business that you had before, it will not come back. If it comes back, it will be in a total different shape, but mostly it's something totally different. The coffin changes, it's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto changes radically. He changes everything to the bottom and he builds it back up in a slow way. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, here we see that better times are coming, and it might be for the best that this situation is going on, which does not mean that it's going to be easy. It could really here work a little bit on your health, or it could put a stress on your body. This is what we are seeing here. This could be due to the grief, or that we cannot travel here also. It's possible also that we literally put our faith in the coffin, that we see our faith in a different way. We could have loss of faith, we could have a re-evaluation of our faith, or sometimes this points that we go in a total different direction regarding to our faith. We go more in the spiritual side, or that we go from the spiritual side more in the religious side. There's a transformation here going on. There's a kind of crisis here upon us place. There's a, here we feel that we literally need to self-sacrifice ourselves here. We have a lot of responsibilities here who are heavy to take for us also. In a way, it's possible that you cared for this person when he was in his terminal stage. This is what we are seeing here, but there are difficulties here for moving here. This is what we are seeing, difficulties for moving on, or we have difficulties to move as a whole. This is what we are seeing here. Here, sometimes also here, there could be a confrontation. We have the bear here also with some monies. There could be some confrontations here with money. Maybe this person moved on, and there's something going on here with an inheritance. This is what we are seeing here, but we will see later on where, if we come there. Then we have the stars, the clovers, and the bear. The stars and the clovers is actually, this is a difficult line, but this is a very positive line. Here we see here that if we are waiting on certain monies, we have very high hopes for these monies. Sometimes this points to a bonus or money that come up, we are hoping here for, we are longing here for, and maybe it's more than we expect. this is what we are seeing. If we have certain wishes, after this standstill, these wishes will come true. Here we see that the stars are turning in your advantage. Everything is turning around in a different way. Also, this points that we need to listen to ourselves, to our inner voice, to our deeper voice. Because of the experiences that we've been undergoing, our mind could be changed here. This is what we are seeing here. Also, we will feel that we need to believe, that we need to have faith in this situation here, and that things will turn out in your favor, and most likely, high likely, it will be like that. Then we have the clovers and the bear. Here we see that there are big, because the cross is big, the bear is big improvements here in our life here. Here we see if we are in a work or in a workplace, it could be that our boss or our manager, he's very understanding in the situation. This points to a very nice manager, a nice boss that we are having. He understands maybe that we are in a difficult situation, and he sees your point of view. This is what we are seeing here. There are some windfalls here with that, but also on the money front, as we said, here we see some advance. It's possible also that you are confronted with, because the bear sometimes is a lawyer also, that you are confronted with a lawyer, maybe for the monies that we saw earlier. And this lawyer, he asks you to trust him. And maybe you need to overthink, if you will. This is what we see here with this combination. Anyway, there's a kind of protection here over the monies here. This is what we are seeing. It's possible that the lawyer here, the person in question, or your boss, he's quite funny. He has a funny side here for seeing the things in a funny way. Anyway, it could also point that we have certain responsibilities, and we leave those responsibilities to somebody else. We don't want to take all responsibility, or we are unable to take these responsibilities. This is what we see here also. Then we have the rider and the key. The rider and the key here, that is good news that is coming to us. Then here we see we are advancing. Here we see the rider, let us ride. He puts us on the move. There is moving here, and the key, it can let us move in certain directions. We literally get the key here it's like I give you the key for your cars or for your vehicle, and you are allowed to move. Here we see we move again here. There's opportunities representing themselves here. Things that we need are falling in place here. We literally could go some places with a car or with a vehicle, depending what is our vehicle, or that we have a vehicle. Anyway, there comes a message here to you. This could be a special delivery, and also we see spiritual lessons here coming to you. This is what we see here. We are open, we are welcoming this new change. If there are offers coming to us, we can and we will say yes, and it's possibly a good thing to do here for this combination. We sometimes need to be careful here that we are not too open, because sometimes with this with the whip, some people could take advantage of our vulnerability. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, you will allow people to come close to you after this period of grief, probably, that you will be undergoing there before. Then we have the key and the whip on itself. Here we are seeing that we are recovering from the pain that we suffered before. Some things are worked out here, some things are resolved here, and things turn from a negative in a positive side. We will put energy here for getting back on our feet, and we also will prevent problems in the future. We will see here there are multiple solutions here. We will think about the solutions, and the good solution is somewhere there here. There could be some kind of conflict here going on also that we need to resolve. This is what we are seeing here. As I said, sometimes this points also to sexual experience here, and this sexual experience could be quite relieving for us. It could be an important lesson here, sexually or mentally, that we are experiencing here. Anyway, this points also, we need to be careful here, as I said, financially or physically, that people don't approach us in the wrong way, or that they are very aggressive towards us. So if you are feeling vulnerable, sometimes this is possible here with this combination. It's possible here also with this combination that people are blaming you and they tell you, for instance, why are you so soft-hearted? But here you are in a very difficult situation here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this is also, we are discussing solutions. We are trying to find a solution here, and probably with the clovers in the middle, we will find a solution. And we have the key here also for this combination. Sometimes here we see that the justice is immediately implemented. Things fall immediately at their place and they are as they meant to be. Then we have the ship, the stars and the rider. The ship and the stars, it means that if we have certain wishes in the future for traveling, they will come true. We see literally these are two moving cars. The rider and the ship are two moving cars. And here, if we take a plane trip, this is the stars, the air. So here we see literally we take an airplane, or we go on the move here for in the air, or we can go in the air. So here this traveling will make us happy. We finally get the green light here. It's possible here that we are finally going to our destination that we are in our head. And if you ended with a certain business before, here we see new business opportunities coming in. Also, there's some fun, there's some relaxation here. We literally follow our divine guidance. We follow the Northern Star. We follow our intuition. We wish to travel and we are able to travel. We go or here in a speedy way. We go in a speedy way here. This is what we are seeing here. Finally, after this period of delay, suddenly everything goes on the move. This is what we are seeing here. And also we see that we leave something, someone behind. Mostly if we travel, we leave things behind. So this is what we are seeing here with this combination. You will leave some people behind, but here we see that the connection, the rider keeps the connection. He's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the god of communication. And even if we leave, we keep in contact with these people. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the stars and the rider. So here we see that we come in the right direction where we want to be. Changes that we wanted to implement are implemented now. They could go quite fast here with the whip here. This is what we are seeing here. Once these delays that have annoyed you and that have burdened you are past, suddenly things go on the run. It's like time is catching up with itself. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. As I said, the coffin, sometimes it isn't what it likes, what it shows. After the period of standstill is gone, the changes, if you accepted these changes, suddenly we move on. So this is what we see here. The coffin is also involved in that. But it's of course annoying because it delays us and it can point to difficult periods that we are undergoing here. Anyway, also we will have a lot of spiritual ideas here that we are having here. It's possible that you communicate about your religion or your spiritual ideas. Also sometimes here, it can be with the whip here, that we are witnessing something, that we are witness for something that is happening in our life. Maybe something important is happening and we are witnessing this. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Then we have the coffin, the clovers, and the key. The coffin and the clovers here, as I said, these delays that you disliked will now prove out to be very beneficial. This is what we are seeing here. The obstacles that we had in our way are moving away from us here. We could not force it before, but now we see what is happening. Everything might not be yet clear what is our destiny, but here, this delay, we see the benefits are already coming out. Later to us, we will see this is actually the solution. This waiting actually brings the solution. So this is what we are seeing here with this combination. Sometimes we see here also that this is to do with inheritance. If you have waited on money or you are involved in some inheritance here we see that the money is coming to us. It might have been blocked before, but here we see that the money is released. the coffin is opened and the money is released to you here. It might be that the amount that you are receiving, it has changed. It changes your perception, or some changes there also. Maybe you see it in a positive way, maybe not. But normally this points to enough and more than we accepted. This is what we see here with this combination. Anyway, these temporary discomforts that we had there before, they are ending here. The grief is ending that we are seeing here with this combination. In the end of all this, developing new chances here. Then we have the clovers and the key. This is a very smart combination. Here we see that if we have certain gifts, talents, we can develop these talents, or we can actually use them. This is what we are seeing here. Also, before, things might not have been clear to us, but now here we see clarity. We see things clear here, actually how they are. And also, if we had problems before, these problems, it's like they are disappearing like wind. The problems are blown away and they are gone. You don't have that heavy feeling anymore. This is what we are seeing here. You need to trust here that it will go the right way, and it will. There will be easy way outs here. There will be opportunities here with this combination. You will be very happy. Sometimes this points to euphoric conditions that we are coming in. We feel very happy after this period of difficulties. The opportunities that you are presented here, you should, yes, to what you probably check them out. You snoop everything around you out here, but here the chances are very good, and you should take these opportunities that are coming to you. If you have good ideas, you could put them in place. Then here with the cross and the bear here, here we see that there's a conflict with somebody. The bear normally represents, maybe this is with a relative. Maybe there's an argument here with a relative that we are seeing here. The bear is female, so there's possibility here that there's an argument here with a relative, or somebody who is in charge, or somebody who wants to be in charge, or somebody who had a lot of responsibilities, and there's an argument here with this person, and this person tries to put stress on you. Here he tries to give you responsibility, and maybe some of these responsibilities you cannot avoid. It's possible also that due to these experiences, we come in a different position of our life, because we have the coffin here, and it's like we are tending more towards taking more responsibilities ourselves. This is what we are seeing. We've been undergoing a lot of trials, a lot of tests here, because sometimes the cross tests us. It tests us, our abilities, our leadership, our responsibilities. And after here, we've been undergoing these tests also maybe financially. And after we see that we become more stable, we become more grounded, we become more sure what is our exact territory. And here we see then that we learn, and maybe in a way there are responsibilities put upon us and we take them. There might not be easy responsibilities. They will come with burdens, but maybe you choose to take them. This is what we are seeing. Maybe you take these responsibilities in abroad. As we know, leadership comes also with a burden. It comes with difficulties. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible that certain people put the test on you. Maybe these are people in charge. Maybe this is your employer. Even though your employer is understanding, even then you are confronted here with certain tests, exactly what is your place. But it's also possible this is a test of faith. This is what we see here. If you are connected to the spiritual, it's possible that some religious person, he's testing how far you are willing to go, or you yourself are testing how solid your faith is here. This could be a difficult relationship. Sometimes this points to a difficult relationship with a parent, excuse me, with a parent, or a difficult relationship with somebody from the church community who is in charge, or the religious or spiritual community, somebody in charge there. And we are confronted with this person. We already see this here. We see this here coming back here. It's like this person wants to give us a heavy load to carry, but we are deciding here, and we will take our share of the problems here. There's like a confrontation, a serious confrontation here on the work floor. Even though this manager is understanding, it's not necessarily the manager here. Maybe it's the confrontation is with somebody more in charge, more in power. Maybe here this manager is okay, but here maybe the one above the manager here, he's putting the pressure on you here. There might be some people here who try to taking advantage of you on the work front, and maybe that's why you want out. You want out here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible we put a lot of energy in for letting this whole thing go here. Maybe here you feel that these people, you don't have enough support of them. They put up a lot of responsibilities on you, but they don't help themselves. It's like they leave everything to you, and you have no choice than taking these responsibilities or taking this work on you. You literally need to do a lot of efforts here, and there are arguments here. It really works physically on you. Temporary, sometimes also this points that the money on our work might not be what we expected. Maybe you feel that you are underpaid. Sometimes this we see what we here have also. For some people also, this could point that even though, but there is money coming here, but that we have temporary scarce of money here. This is what we are seeing here. Also, it points, because the bear protects, that we will try to protect ourselves. Maybe these people are even assertive or aggressive towards us. But of course, you need to see that you limit this, and you need to see that that they don't cross the borders here with this combination here, that you keep them at bay here, excuse me. Anyway, it's possible that these people literally try to embarrass you, so you cannot go let this too far, because the bear sometimes he can be very intrusive, especially with the whip. So you need to keep it here at bay here. You probably will protect here yourself, and this could also point, as I said, to a confrontation with a parent here. This is what we see here. Then we have the cross, the ship, the clovers, and the whip. The ship and the clovers here, as I said here, after this whole mess is solved out, you will be more free. You will be able to explore here. We do things what we want. We are more lighted, even though there's a little bit some difficulties here with the journey. We will move on. Also here we see, if we have certain difficulties with certain people, we will not take that with us. Maybe we are tired of it. We will forgive. We'll just move on here, and we will forgive and forget. And maybe it's best not to drag this whole thing with you, and let it go. Forgive and forget, and just move on to the next stage of our life. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible you still feel some anger, but maybe it's best to transfer this in a way. Maybe even you have a chance here to retaliate, but you think, maybe I just let it go. This is what we see here with this combination. But this points also that you make amends, but also you have the chance here to take revenge on these people who are not honest to you. But I think here you will let it go. You will let it go here. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the cross, the clovers, and the rider. The cross and the clovers here, we feel here as we go on this new journey that we are protected here. Probably we are. It's a trip that is destined to happen here. We also, this sometimes is a test of luck also. So sometimes we will challenge our luck. It's like here we want to see really how lucky we are with ourselves. Here, this is what we are seeing here. We test how well we are protected here with this combination. If there are certain burdens here coming to us, we will see them more likely here. Certain responsibilities are taken here, are put upon you, but you will see them lighter, not as before, because you've been undergoing some changes here. It's like you will allow yourself more lenience. This is what we see here. Then we have the clovers and the rider here. Certain affairs, new business affairs that we might start here, they can bear fruits. We are able here also to achieve certain goals here. We should take this opportunity, seize the moment here, as we are saying here. We could overcome certain competitions, if we have certain tests, certain business, this will end up in a positive way. This all will be lucky. You will consider here that this adventure that you signed in for, that this has a positive effect on way. It will liberate you out of this phase of negativity that you have before, and good things are literally happening here to you. This will come, you will come in a phase of ease here. There's a life change here coming to you, and you will feel that upon you, you are more relaxed here. This is what we are seeing. So Libra, for the air group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this Lenormand card reading. It's a little bit of hustle in the beginning, but it will all end very well here. But you need to show some strength here, of course, also. Anyway, I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this Lenormand card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit your all, check the other 3 card readings and also the one that is separated. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and please check out also our financial card readings that you can find on my channel. Thank you for your time, and bye-bye for now. Hello Libra, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for your Lenormand card reading for December 2021. As your first card here, we see the card of we see the cross here. The cross here, that is possibly things that are happening in our life are meant to be. There's a kind of protection upon us, and we feel that this protection is upon us. We actually sense it, that there's something protecting us. Also, we feel probably that we need to be patient. This is a temporary thing because the moon comes in cycles. So this is, once this cycle is over, normally the cycle of the moon is 21 to 32 days. So you are in a kind of circle here for things are changes here. You are tested in some areas of your life. We will understand certain depths in our life. Also, we will strongly depend on our intuition, maybe also strongly dependent on our work. Here, this is what we are seeing here because the moon is the work. Also, anyway, we see that we need to go deeper inside our feelings here. Here we see that we need to be neutral, and sometimes with the moon it's difficult, but it's like here we need to see that we set our feelings straight. We need to have we need to be sure that our objectivity, our insights are really correct here. We need to feel that it's correct here, what we are seeing here. We will need to focus on things to see them as they really are. Some things in our life, the moon is a cycle, and some things that we felt are important for us, we will let go, and some we will keep. The moon is fluctuating. Sometimes it's a little bit moody. So some things it will be strongly connected to our mood here. We will choose the direction that we are going. It's like ebb and flood. So we will let things go and we will keep things also. This is what we are seeing here. If some things have been draining up, we will let them go with the tides here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this points also to personal work development. This is on our work. It's possible also that we get some recognition on our work. Maybe we worked hard before and we are finally rewarded for it. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this points also to a difficult period. Sometimes this points to heavy feelings and responsibilities are put up on us. Then as the central card, we have the dog. So it means that normally this means that we are well liked by our friends, our community. The dog is the community, friends, people around us, certain groups that we are functioning in. Maybe we are functioning in spiritual or religious group. These are important to us. They are supportive to us. And also they are liking us well. We find some balance and harmony here because we have the two harmonious cards here. We have 2 times Venus here. So here we see that there's a certain harmony that we are reaching here with even with brothers and sisters. There could be a feeling like that because the dog is also brothers and sisters, maybe younger brothers and sisters here that we are seeing here. There's a kind of balance here that we find, but also on the work front with the colleagues here, there's a good balance. There's a good contact and contract here that we are seeing here. We're keeping the things really emotionally balanced here. This is what we are seeing here. It points also, if you have certain difficulties, a friend of yours will try to find you an outbalanced solution, or he will offer you one, or you will discuss it in diplomatic ways. You will see if there are problems in your life to find the balanced solution here. Libra is about balance, finding the middle road, and we see this very strongly here that you want to find this balance in your life, even though it's sometimes a difficult, challenging period here that we are facing. Then we have then we're gonna mirror the cards. We're gonna mirror the corners, the cross and the clovers. We're gonna mirror them towards each other. Here we see that we feel that we are guided. We see that here again. It's possible also that on the work front, a lot of good things are happening to us. We see the signs and we need to trust our fate. We need to trust our fate. We need to trust our feelings. It's very important here. The moon is sometimes also creativity. If there is some creativity involved in our work, probably things we learned before, and now we can reflect this in our work, in the challenging that are facing us. We can really move forward here and you will see the signs are there. Sometimes with the cross, we literally see the signs in our path. So here we need to keep our eyes open and we will see that we are in the right direction. If there are problems or were problems, these problems will be resolved. Also, if you feel that you can come in the face of luck, you will test your luck. How far you can go and how far is your creativity or how far it can go here. We could also feel that we are strong. We are testing our strength here. This is what we are seeing here. This is an important opportunity to grow. If we had certain sufferings before, here we see that we actually grow in our job, and also emotionally we mature up here, but we also can grow in our work here. Maybe certain morals, certain opinions that you have before are about to change here, because the moon, as I said, it's a cycle here that we are about to change. Maybe some cycle in our fate is fulfilled and we go in a next stage that we are seeing here. You will become more lenient. This is what we are seeing here. Then we're going to cross the bottom cards here, the bottom corners, the mice and the bouquet. Here we see if something get lost, maybe this is to certain relationship or our marriage. Maybe something in our marriage or our relationship was lost, and it's like here we find a part of it back. Here, this is what we are seeing. We have more hope here. We have more faith. If this is on contracts that we had, if we are doubted, we would receive a certain contract about our work, about our creativity. Our friends will give us faith. And here we see that these things are coming back to us. If we had certain trials here related to relationships, related to our work, related to contacts or contracts, here we see that this is renewed here. We are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, it could also point that before we had a less social life, but here that we pick up again the social life. We make the bridge again towards our social life. Probably we will invite more friends in the future here and people that are close to us. And probably we will operate also more in community because we have the garden here. These are two cards that are in public life. So it's like here we find a renewed freedom, and we like the renewed freedom. We find things back in our life and the challenges are coming behind us here. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the cross. The cross and the moon. Here we go in the horizontal lines. The cross and the moon, it means that on the work front, we could be confronted with success in our life. People are recognizing us, colleagues, peers, brothers and sisters, they will say, well, you're finally there now. This is what we are seeing here. There are deep emotions here. This thing is very emotional here, what we are seeing here. Also certain things that we learn, knowledge that we have, we will be able here to expose it here or to implement it here if we have a creative or on a professional field. This is what we are seeing here. This is a test of our feelings also here. This could be that we are destined here for great things to do in our life after this emotional suffering. Anyway, we could still have some fears because the moon sometimes gives fears, and it's possible because you had a difficult period before that you don't have trust, but sometimes the moon can give ungrounded feelings because the moon has a dark side. So here the fears could be ungrounded here. This is what we are seeing here. But we could still feel that we have carried this burden before, but now we are moving on before. Doesn't mean that we forget what we have endured before. Then we have the moon and the clovers on itself. Here we feel more stronger. Here we feel that our energy, our power is coming back to us. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. We should also be positive here with this combination and see things in a positive way. Don't let yourself be influenced by the heavy period before, because here we see actually that good things are possible here. The last line is very positive, but you need to leave those things that you experienced before behind you. This is what we are seeing here. If we do, here we see that we are recognized in our work, not only, but also there's promotions happening here. We can literally move, we will get opportunities here to move forward here if we take them. Anyway, there will be solutions here. Your reputation on your work, on for your career, or for your creativity will be put in a very positive daylight here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. There's some chances here, chance events that end up in a very positive way here. This is what we are seeing here. We are experiencing, or where we are able here to experience very nice emotional feelings here, and it's important that we do so. Also, this points that we will have some pleasant nights here, or pleasant evenings here. Also, you will get, if you have worked hard before, or you had a lot of responsibilities before, here you will see that we can recover and we rest. Then we have the garden and the dog here. Here we see that we meet with a lot of friends here. These are two very open public cards here. We open with friends. We have probably a friend who has he's very open-minded here, and we like to be in his environment. If you think that this could be a lover here, I would see this is more a friend. If this is a person that you also have more than friendships feelings to, I think for the time being this will stay with friendship, because these are two cards that are very much focused on the friendship. So it's not time maybe yet for a love relationship. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible also that we get more freedom in our relationship, because we saw here also that before that some things in our relationship are found back, and this could be that we find a freedom back in our relationship. This is what we are seeing here, and it's like it's connected to a certain group. Maybe we are connected to certain groups, and these groups support our relationship. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible that we follow certain spiritual or love ideas. This is what we are seeing here. If you are quite popular on the internet or in your community, this sometimes points also to people who are fans of you, or some of your friends are also your fans. Maybe you could be quite creative here, and we see here there are meetups, there's a network of friends, you are loyal to the public, you are loyal to the friends. There's a whole community here that is very close to you here, that is supporting you. They are supporting you, and they're happy, you help together for the benefit of each other. There's a very supportive network here that we are that we see here. Anyway, people will be helpful to you and you will be helpful to them. There's like a reciprocity here towards each other. One helps the other one helps back here. Everything is done in a sphere for helping and improving everybody here. This is what we see here. Then we have the dog and the heart. Here we see that these friends are very close to us here. In a way, if you were in a relationship with a certain person before, and this relationship with the mice, sometimes this is a temporary interruptions, or you worked out some problems with this friend before. Since we have the ring here, there could be a possibility in the future to commit. But here, the mice means that we need to work out certain problems. And probably this is the delay. If you don't attend the mice in relationships, one mice, if this is a female mice, this becomes 6 and 6 becomes 30. You understand here, you need to solve certain problems. If you have worked out these problems with each other, this can go from love into friendship or for friendship into love. Both works here. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe the temporary suspension here is ended here. You could really feel close to this friend, and that's why you want more. It's like you feel really buddyship with this person, and maybe you want more. You want this person to become your love partner, your life partner here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, there's a very affectionate relationship here between the two of us. If there were issues before here, also we see that we forget, we forget, we move on, we are friendly towards each other, we are soft towards each other. Just see that you are not too soft, that you don't wear the pink glasses here with this combination. Anyway, it's possible here with this combination, if the problems would be solved, or if there were some standstill before or some delays before here, that you go into the next stage of a relationship. Then we have the mice and the ring. Maybe the reason was that this relationship was suspended before, that some promises were broken before. Maybe one of the two want to have more freedom. He or she was not ready for the relationship. And now these promises are reviewed. But as we saw, there is forgiveness here. This is the card of renewal, and this is the card of building the bridge again. And you build the bridge here to love again. There is forgiveness here. Maybe before you get separated, and you come back in this agreement. Maybe in the beginning you feel a little bit insecure, maybe you feel it's a little bit tricky, but here we see here that we give it a different an next try here with this connection. It's possible also that some people, because you give it another try, that they gossip about it. This is what we are seeing here. There are rumors here. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe the group that we are functioning here, they are gossiping a little bit about it, but of course you have your own personality here. This is what we are seeing here. Here we could really see a couple here that are buddying here up. They are to each other here. Then we have the ring and the bouquet here. If you decide to go for this relationship, it could work out to be very fruitful. On the work front here, we see this here again. If you have contacts here on the work floor, this could be very fruitful. It could be deliver rewards, and also on the relationship front, it could be. But especially here, this is a very good combination for your work. If you decide, this could be the next stage also, again, that you come back in a more closer contact with each other, with a partner here, and that you renew like the binding here, that you reconnect here with each other here with this combination. Then we have the vertical lines here. We have the cross, the garden, and the mice. The cross and the garden here, we are very happy with our job, the job that we have. For us, this is the destined job, the job that we are very happy with. Also, this could point to our community that we are functioning in here. Maybe in our work workplace, we are like, sometimes we are the center of things, and sometimes it puts pressure on us. The cross could put pressure on us if we are like a local celebrity. Also, it put pressure on us, and sometimes we want to hide ourselves. We are not always in for it here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this points to important things here that we are seeing here. It can point also that you spend a lot of time in religious or spiritual meetups. Maybe there's some spiritual thing coming up for you, or some religious thing here that is coming up here that you are confronted with. Anyway, it's possible here that we are tested by the public, or we are testing ourselves, the public, how strong it is connected to you. This points also to our social duties here. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the mice and the garden. Sometimes this is a little bit difficult combination. It can mean that we take some certain distance, a certain stop that we build in, or a temporary stop from engaging ourselves in the public sphere. This is what we are seeing here. We could feel unwelcome in certain groups. We already saw there's a transformation there of the fate possible, and we could feel unwelcome in certain groups, and it's possible that we temporarily suspend the interaction with certain groups that we have. And other groups, it will be renewed. So here we see certain connections are getting less and others are getting more. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible here there you have some worries here with this combination. You lose some people and you gain some people here. In another way, this could literally mean that you have in your garden, if you have a garden in your house, something is biting there in the garden. You have some rodents in your garden, but that's a different point here to see it. Anyway, it's possible also that you don't want to reveal everything publicly, that your real wishes that we are seeing here. Sometimes also this points that we get stress in public, that we are confronted with stressful because the mouse are tripling around. So here we see that sometimes we are confronted with stressful meetings here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible that you don't want to talk in public, you avoid certain contacts. Then we have the moon, the dog, and the ring. The moon and the dog here, this points to in other circles, we saw here before we let some go, but here in certain other circles that you are renewing or refining or reconnecting with, here we are quite popular. This can also point to popularity on the work here. There's a lot of recognition here, but here also we let go of some things. It could mean also that we are not the only popular, but also in our circles of friends, more people are recognized. For instance, if you are a famous person, you have famous friends also, or friends who are also in the spotlight. This is what we are seeing here. So it also points that we need to trust our intuition. We see this coming back. Here there are certain needs. It's possible that for certain things we really depend on our friends, and we are needy towards our friends. We like to help them and they help us. We see this here coming here. It's also possible that one of your friends here is in need and you are willing to help them. If you would have a business, this could point to employees, that you are closely connected emotionally also to your employees. This is what we are seeing here. It could mean that one of your employees is needing some rest. Maybe he's a little bit overstressed here, or a friend is overstressed. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the dog and the ring. The dog and the ring here, it points that we are very loyal to our friends. If this is more than friends, we want to renew the loyalty in our friendship or in our love relationship here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, if this is on the business front, this is very good for the work, because this is very promising for long-term contracts. On the long run, if you are, for instance, an artist or you have your own business, this is very good for the long run, because this points to long-term contracts here. There's a lot of cooperation here. Excuse me, between the two parties here. There's also admiration here between the two friends. Then we come in the vertical line. We have the clovers, the heart, and the bouquet here, the clovers and the heart here. If we want to go or we rethink our love relationship here, this is possible here that this materializes. If we want to go for it, we want to give it a second chance. This points to sentimental luck again. We get certain satisfactions back in love here. This is what we are seeing here. We want that this relationship is not coming in the same troubles as before. We want to renew this whole relationship. Maybe here we see also one of the both is maybe less committed to the relationship, more lighthearted about it, and the other one is seriously connected. But here for you, if you think that the signs are clear, this sometimes points that we say yes to a love relationship. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the heart and the bouquet. This points to a friendship love relationship. As we said here, it's you who takes the decision. If you feel like going for it, it will work out. If you keep on doubting, of course, nothing will happen. Sometimes Libra has difficulties with taking decisions, and these are balancing cards here. So we need to see here what we are doing. On the work front, this is very good. Then we are very happy again here with the job that we are doing. But it's like the love life is hanging in the balance here, that we decide, even though we have warm invitations, there is romantic happiness. It's like we are not sure, maybe because of things that happened before, but there are kind gestures here. There's compassionate here towards each other. There's generosity here. We flatter each other. There's nothing missing here in that way. But here it's like doubt here for giving our heart. We doubt, should we give our heart? We give our heart, I don't give my heart. But there's a doubt here. This is what we are seeing here. And it's like we want to implement certain conditions here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible also with this combination that we or the lover gives us presents. So we give presents to the lover, or the lover gives presents to us. But there's a lot of flirtation here, and you dress up nicely for going out. There's no problems here about that, but there's certain doubts here for taking the decision. So Libra, for the stone group, this is all here. I hope you can make up your mind here. Anyway, if this card reading don't fit you, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here, and the one that is, of course, separated. Check that one out also, the water group. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and you can also check out the monthly philosophical card readings that we do for your sign. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. Hello Libra, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your card reading, for your Lenormand card reading for December 2021. As the first card here, your first card, we see the stork. The stork is the card of the bird of changes. It means big changes are about to come for us. Sometimes this points also to migration, moving. Anyway, important changes are coming to us here. We are about to get involved in something important. Also, probably some structural changes in our life. Sometimes we literally cross physically borders. This is what we are seeing here. Possibly also some changes on the work floor that are coming here for us here. Anyway, coming back to the card here, this card tells us also that we need to unleash our potential. Maybe we held back before, but here it tells us here that we need to unleash our abilities, especially in the work front. If we have certain knowledge before, we should not hide this knowledge. We should use it because this points to also to education here that we are seeing here. Maybe we have been repressing before. Maybe we kept ourselves closed off certain borders, but this card reading tells us that we should open up here. We should expose ourselves more. We should use our abilities here for these changes here. We literally need to take off the lid of it, and we need to go for it. This is what we are seeing here. Then in the middle card, the central card here, we see the tower. The tower is literally the card of crossing borders, regulations, rules here. This points to literally to long-term changes here that we are seeing here. We will need to go for it on the long run. There will be no shortcuts. If we are planning to do certain studies, certain educations here, we will need to commit to them here. This is what we are seeing here. We need to be patient, consistent working, and apply discipline. This is what we are seeing here. If we undergo and apply all these changes and we no longer hide ourselves, we will come in a total different situation of our life. Then we're gonna mirror the corner cards. We're gonna mirror the stork with the bird here. Here we see that there is certain themes or certain groups that we are work with. This could also point to classmates here. There's a busy time here with our friends here. This is normally a positive combination, positive for the work front, but the fox, sometimes we need to be careful, but we will go later into that here. This points to projects that we have with colleagues here, thus we are seeing here, and here we already have it here. The stork is a transformation in friendship, and sometimes this comes with a reason. Maybe some friends, some colleagues, some classmates are not what they actually appear to be. Maybe they have they act differently, or they don't operate, they are dishonest, or maybe they even lie. This is what we are seeing here. Our friends of circle, our circle friend or our colleague circle could change here with this combination of cards. Anyway, we could also change our attitude towards friends, or our friends are changing attitude towards us. Maybe we come in a different stage of our life and some of our friends cannot follow us anymore. Maybe we educate ourselves more and there becomes a difference here in attitude, or maybe a difference in points of view. Sometimes if we study, we change, we see points differently. This could be a possible angle also. Anyway, there is here some changes here. Friendships are transforming. We could also sometimes see here that certain friends from before are returning in our life and other friends are disappearing. So here we have a real change of friendships here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Then we have the bottom cards here. We have the other corner cards, the child and the book here. Here we see that probably we start something new in the field of study. Everything might not be clear yet where we exactly going. Maybe we need to implement more structure for finding out exactly what we are going. But this can point also, if we are in a job, that we are the one in charge of a new branch, or we start to study something totally new, or we get a new colleague, a new study colleague, or something in that area here. This is what we are seeing also. In the simplest way, this point that we start a new study, we start something new, we want to educate ourselves more. This is what we are seeing here. This can point to that you are new in this study. Sometimes also this can point to minor studies, like we are studying up for our work, but in general with the tower, it's something more important here that we are seeing here. This is just beginning now. This is the beginning. Maybe this is the start for something on the long run. Maybe this is some curiosity for the study, and this ends up in totally that goes more further. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Then we have the horizontal lines. We go in the horizontal lines, we go for the stork and the fox here. Here we see that there's some things changes in our work here, probably in the work floor or related to colleagues. Here there are some disappointments here. Something here is not as it should be. Something is changing, somebody is changing towards us, or we are changing towards, but mostly this points to that the loyalties are changing. Maybe somebody has been disloyal to you, and you want to change this friendship anymore. You don't want it to like this before. As I said earlier, this can point also to self-transformation through study, and maybe these people cannot catch up with you anymore. Sometimes we see this also with this combination. Anyway, here these people around you, they might be suspicious because you see things in a different level, or you see them suspicious because they cannot follow you anymore. Anyway, this points that we are following our path of changes. The fox is very focused on his own well-being for the future. And you have the sun here. This could be a very good step in the right direction, but others might not see it that way. And sometimes this brings problems on the work floor because people don't agree with it. But even if they disagree, here we see that you will follow that path, you will push through with it. Here, this is what we are seeing. They could be very uncomfortable with this situation. They don't feel the same anymore towards you anymore, but you will push through with it here. This is what we are seeing here. We want to take care better of ourselves on the long run here, even though others don't see it that way. Also with this combination that we see that we carefully assess certain risks in our life. Here we need to see if we go in the next stage of our life, we have enough financial resources. Here, before you take certain steps and certain changes, see that you have enough resources or that you can back yourself up with another form of resources. Here, you need to be well equipped here for this transformation. You need to implement structure. You need to see that you keep structure from your funds here, because the book sometimes it can represent funds. So check your funds before you go in the next step. Here, this is what we are seeing here, but it's possible here that you cannot hold the situation anymore as it is and you want to change. Then we have the fox and the dog on itself. This could point from a friend who goes to an enemy or actually a frenemy. Here, a person, you have a relationship here. This person might be two-faced towards you. He might pretend, but with the fox, there's always something going on. There's always something fishy here. This is what we are seeing here. It could mean that the friendship are transforming and they become more superficial. This is what we are seeing here. If we do business, this can point to a change of our customers also. If you study and you work, or you work and you study, this can point also to a change of customer circle. This is what we see here also. But in general, this is positive, this combination, because the cards under there are all very positive. Anyway, you need to take your time to observe your friends and to observe these changes. Some people can literally lie to you about certain conditions. This could be like a friend who is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So we need to be careful here with this combination. They might try to trick you also here. Also, we need to see that we have enough. Again, here, self-support is very important here, that we can take care of ourselves. It's possible also that you have some friends in your circle who only contact you when they need you. This is what we see here also with this combination. Here we see also with this combination, there's certain conflicts between what we think is right and our expectations. Maybe other people around us say this is not right, and you know it's the right path for you. They might disagree with your choices, but it's better to move on there here if we are in this kind of conditions. Then we have the sun and the tower here. This points that we come in a different circle. Probably a higher circle, because the tower is higher. We come in certain more high-placed community. If we have a job and we are, for instance, a salesman, this could point to a step up. And we really like this step up. It's really suiting us here. This is what we are seeing here. This could be something on the long run here, what we are doing. If we are, for instance, in for a study, this could be a very beneficial study because it's something really like with what we are doing. This mostly point to a very structural thing, but we like the structure. We like how it is. This points to no chaos. We like the structure that it offers us. Sometimes also with these combinations, it could be to be alone, but we are happy that we are more alone. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. There is a strength in the being alone here. This is what we are seeing here. If you have a job already, this could point to an important job in the government that you really like, or you, in a way, you are connected to the government. If you're no longer a student, this could point, maybe you move on from one job to another, and these people that are your colleagues or your friends before, maybe there's something changed here and they don't see you the same anymore because you move up in your life. This is what we are seeing here. But there will become more rest. The environment where you come becomes more quiet here. This is what we are seeing here. And you like this quiet that is around you here. This is what we are seeing here. Also, we are happy that we take this step, or we took this step. This is what we are seeing here. It's like we become more in ourselves. We draw more inwards. Here we see that if we had a lover before, this probably we were very close to this person. And it's possible with the Tower, this lover returns. The Tower sometimes brings back things from the past. And here, it's possible here, there is a renewal here of the heart. I'm thinking here you will very close to this person. And maybe in a way, this person is related to your work, or you were related to work. And this person changed also. And now you both changed. Maybe the change of position brings you, reconnects you. This is possible also what we are seeing here. Anyway, there could also be, there's a connection, but there's also a kind of distance here, because the Tower is distance. He looks up and he sees the bigger perspective that this love could bring on the long run, because the Tower is prepared. He's preparing on the long run. He's making plans. This card is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn makes plans on the long run. So here we see maybe this person wants to plan something out on the long run. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible that this relationship was split up before because there was somebody else involved. And maybe the situation with the other person has changed now, and it didn't pan out for this other person too well, and we get reconnected, and the person that was or is in her past is going away here, and you reconnect with each other. But it's like here, there's a certain structure here between the two. Maybe some bridges need to be built here, and there is some distance here for now. Maybe because of this other relationship. Anyway, there maybe been some heartaches before, and you withdraw before, and now this situation is coming back. And sometimes Saturn, he can make us uncertain. He's like not confident. So sometimes here we see there's lack of self-confidence, maybe for good reason, and maybe we don't want to give our heart for a second time. We need to be sure. You don't want to be probably intertwined with the same connection again. So that's why you keep it a little bit on hold. This is what we are seeing. It doesn't mean that the connection was not close. This is something else. There probably before it was very established, but something came between here. Maybe certain ambitions that were in the way of it. In a way also, it could mean that one of both partners here, because the Tower is crossing borders. So it's possible with the Sun, because the Sun is tanning us, it gives us a suntan, that one of the lovers here has foreign roots, a foreign culture. So the skin color could be different here from the lover. This is what we see here with this combination. Anyway, you have learned an important lesson here from the heart, and you will not be catched here again. You are more suspicious now about this whole condition. You will not catch yourself again. So here we see that you want to be absolutely sure, and love and happiness has a priority in your life, and you want it to have a positive influence on you. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible that one of the both partners is quite traditional, and in a way you play an important role in each other's life. It's like you're reconnecting here, but there was some isolation before. But there might have been in the future, we have the book here also, there might have been some secrets, and maybe everything is not yet revealed. And maybe you are feeling or sensing there's something still hidden, because sometimes the book hides things. And we have the clouds here also, and we want to make sure that this is going, because this is a new beginning, we want to show this is, be sure that this is going in the right direction, because we might sense that there is something hidden here. This is what we see here with this combination, and it's like you're very sensitive for the whole thing here that happened before. This is possible with this combination. What is also possible here, because if you come in a certain higher position, you don't know to give in to your vulnerability. Sometimes if we climb up in society or in our workplace, it makes us also vulnerable. And it's possible also that we want to protect our position and we are not sure how close we let this person come. This is what we are seeing here. It's like we are want to protect here, and how far do I open up and how far do I let myself open myself here. This is what we are seeing here. You could have the feeling here with the book that something is hidden here with this combination. Anyway, this could point also, if you are going up in your life, that you come in contact with very high placed people, or you yourself are very high placed with the sun, especially the sun is high and the tower is high also. This could point that to connections with high placed people, or you are connecting yourself with those high placed people, or you come there in these high placed people. Here we see that we need to start thinking in another way. And you make certain things, you want to make certain things sure. Sometimes also it could mean that we overprotect ourselves or we overprotect the other. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, if you are doubting too much, you can say no. But probably you're doubting a lot here. Libra sometimes has difficulties for making decisions. And here we see, we can say no. Sometimes the tower is rigid, is strict, and you think, I say no, but your heart says yes. So it could be a little bit complicated here, what we are seeing here. Anyway, what you can do is you can take a calculated leap of faith, because this is what is, this also you can take a calculated leap of faith. There's enough smartness here in the person. So this is what we called a calculated step. You can do also this combination. Anyway, this points, we need to find a balance between our work and between the lover here. The balance here is required. Then we come in the third horizontal line. We have the child, the clouds, and the book. Here we see with this combination that we see that we come in a new phase of our life. We are quite inexperienced. We don't know probably all the facts yet, what we are doing here. These are our first steps. If this is a new job, this is our new job in our first steps in the new jobs. In another way, if you have a child out of a relationship here, that there are some worries here with the children. This can point also here with this combination. It could be a little bit like this. Also what we see here, sometimes if we have a child and we are in a certain higher position, it's possible that we don't share this with everybody, that we have a child out of previous relationship. This is what we see here. It doesn't matter about your gender, but here we see that we don't share everything about our child, or we don't share it at all. Here, this is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, it points also that we still initiate ourselves. We get more knowledge here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. Then we have the clouds and the book and itself. The clouds and the book here, here that we see sometimes that we are not yet sure how we need to think. Sometimes this combination, it clouds our thinking a little bit. We don't know exactly sure how we need to implement what we know in a structural way. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Here, before we will figure this out, with the tower, we need patience. So before you will figure it out for yourself exactly where you are on the work and on the love front and the relationship with your child, it will take time. sometimes we need to digest it for a while, but probably you will not reveal too much. The fox is a card that operates between dusk and dawn, so you will keep it foggy. You will keep it foggy towards others here, but also for you yourself, you will still, you are in the here, in the situation of processing certain information here with this combination. Sometimes also with this combination, if you have a certain job in your work, we need to be careful here that if we are doing a job, and this is specifically belonging to us, certain information or certain works or certain study, that our work is not copied. We need to be careful with this combination here. Anyway, this points also that we have a lot of knowledge that we don't share with everybody. This points to hidden knowledge, a lot of knowledge. We have here we have certain knowledge that other people don't have. This is what we are seeing here. And we keep this veiled. We don't reveal that we have this here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible also that we hide who educated us. We don't share that, where exactly we get our knowledge for some reason. Then we have the stork, the sun, and the child. The stork and the sun here, this points to positive changes, opportunities, new opportunities here. Everything is unfolding in a new way as we want it to be. There's success here for us here. If we have a certain partner, sometimes also this points there is change in partners here. And sometimes with this combination also we need to be careful if we are a woman not to get pregnant, and if we are a man we need to take precautions if we don't want to make a woman pregnant, because this is the bird of expectations. He expects, this is the bird that is connected, he carries the child towards the woman, or the woman who carries the child. This is fertility, and then this is the actual result. So you get here, this is a tricky combination here. So if you have no intentions that way, this points to high fertility from both parties here. This is what we are seeing here. This points also to the will to act. Sometimes also this points to migrations to another city or another location, or for some, because we have the borders here, that we cross certain borders. Maybe it's in the planning on the long run that we cross the borders. Maybe we cross the borders and we study there, or we use our education there, because this is the tower. It could be a job in abroad that is related to the government. This is what we see here also with this combination. Also, we see that we have the possibility here for relocating monies. Sometimes also this is like relocating, that we relocate money. Anyway, also we like to be in the spotlight. The sun likes to be in the spotlight. So, and we like to be in this spotlight, and we like that we are. And these new changes put us literally in a structural spotlight. Here we see this here. Anyway, this again, this is migration from the birthplace. Here also this points that like this is like the ugly duck that transfers in a swan. Here there's a positive transfer here that we are seeing here. Anyway, you could have the feeling also that if you migrate, things would be better for you. You could have the feeling that the grass is greener in the other city, in the other country, and probably it will be. This is what we are seeing here if we are undergoing this. Anyway, this points to total. If you go in abroad, there will be big changes coming here for you. There's a total metamorphosis here going on here. If you are in abroad, it could really make you shine, because the sun, we have the sun there. It's possible also that some truths in your life will be changing. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Also, if your situation before was psychologically or financially unstable, this is also about to change. This is what we all see here with this combination. If you are a woman, probably mostly this points to a woman with long legs, with long handsome, pretty legs here. This is what we are seeing, because the stork is a long-legged bird here. It could be your partner. This is what we are seeing. If you are a man, you could have very handsome legs here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination, but this is something, another angle here. Anyway, this new lover, if a new person comes in your life, this could literally electrify you. You could feel the energy here. The romance could be, this could really be a hot romance, electrifying lover here. We are very attracted here to certain physical features of our partner, and most likely maybe the legs. Anyway, then we see the sun and the child. Here we have, it points to our freedom. The sun is freedom. We have a new found freedom here. This is what we are seeing here. Here we see all that, also that we engage more in life itself, because the sun is life. There is happiness also. Mostly this points also to health on the long run then, that we are seeing here. Anyway, it could point also in another way, if you're a woman, that you're longing for a child. So if it's your intention for getting pregnant, this is a good combination for, so probably you will do this in a structure, because Saturn here, this is like a planned pregnancy here that we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, we might be a little bit naive here. Maybe we spend some days with the children, and this triggered something on us that we want children ourselves here. This is what we are seeing. Then the second vertical line, we have the fox, the tower, and the clouds. Here we see on our job, this is on the long run, this is very stable. These changes are very positive. Maybe we are also confronted with some form of leadership here. This is what we are seeing here. We need to be careful also with this combination, that it really, when it really comes to us, that our bosses have our back, because maybe sometimes they don't have our back. So here we need to see that we need to rely on ourselves. Don't, here with this combination, I would be very careful if you expect backup from your boss. So see that you are self-reliant here. This is what we see here, especially with the clouds here. It's like the upper management is in the clouds. So they have doubts here. They have doubts here, or you have doubts towards to them. And if you doubt that they back you up, maybe it's best to regularize these doubts. They probably are genuine. Here, this is what we see here with this combination. Here also we see that we could, the upper, our bosses, our CEOs, here we see that we ourselves, we doubt them. We doubt them. We see there is a doubt here towards them. We see them maybe as unreliable here. We cannot rely on them. It's possible also if they would put certain things on you related to your work, but you have a lot of knowledge, and they want to put something on you that you outsmart them. You see them coming, because the fox sees things coming. Here you can see, so you need to keep yourself here. Maybe you hide yourself, you hide your knowledge, and they try to pin something on you, but you saw them coming. Here, this is what we are seeing here. It's possible also, if you experience this the second time, you are able to shut them out and you isolate, so they cannot do this to you in a second time. You adapt to the situation here. You take care of yourself, and you should be also. You have here, we see that we hide ourselves here. We will not let our pride be taken from us here. Sometimes also this points that civil servants, if we go in abroad, some of them we cannot be trusted, especially in abroad. Sometimes we need to be careful with certain civil servants. If we cross borders, we never know. It all depends, of course, on the country. Not every countries are the same, but sometimes if you go in countries abroad, we need to be careful here also for corruption or things like that. Anyway, then we come in the tower and the clouds, the last two cards here. Here with the the tower and the clouds, it could be, if we take this step for moving abroad, that we are thinking about things in the past. It could make us doubt, but actually this is a good step. What you could experience in abroad is some legal problems. Maybe there's some legal problems there. This is what we are seeing here. And if you take your distance from the situation, it will give you a clear view, but you need to focus on it and keep your distance from it. It could also be that certain position in your life makes you more lonely. You need to take control here over your confusion, because sometimes maybe you are not thinking clearly here. Some bureaucracies, if you go to abroad here, this points also to frustration. Sometimes, you know, it's like that in abroad, and there are frustrations because of the bureaucracy, and sometimes literally idiotic rules that makes no sense. Then we have come in the third vertical line. Then we have the dog, the heart and the book, the dog and the heart here. This is, again, here we see that we have a very close relationship with a friend, lover, lover, friend. And probably we don't shout this around, that this person that we are close to is connected to us. We keep it. This is like a covered up relationship, but there is a deep friendship here between the people here. There is loyalty towards each other. This could be a buddy. Maybe this could become more than a buddy, or a buddy that turns into a lover. This is what we are seeing, and this could be happening abroad. There could be some affection here. We could had some problems before. We saw this before, and we reconsider this friend. We see the same confirmation here again with this with these two cards. Then we have the heart and the book. It's possible that these feelings have been covered up for a while, and if this is a renewal, that the person suddenly, or you suddenly, reveal yourself, that you say it's like this and that for me, or the other person says that to you. This is what we are seeing here with this. We actually reveal how we feel. This is possible with this combination. It doesn't mean we're gonna hang it, we're gonna put it in the newspaper, because with the book we keep it our secret. This is love that is kept secret here with this combination. This person could really maybe have worshipped you or be in love for you for a long time, but it was never spoken out here. This is what, but there are really connections here between the two. Then we have the stork, the tower, and the book. The stork and the tower here. Certain events from the past will be revealed, especially regarding to structures, government. So some things will come out here that have been hidden. In another way, if this is on the spiritual front here, this could mean that you're more, that it has more a spiritual or a religious significance, that you come closer to your faith or your spirituality. Anyway, these are deep transformations that will affect you for the rest or the next part of your life. The tower is a long time here. This is what we are seeing here. If we come in certain countries and we cross borders, it could also be possible, as you arrive there, there are elections and the government is about to change. This is what we are seeing here. So we cannot see what is the next government yet. This is what it says here also. Sometimes the higher levels here of the government are changing. This points also to our visa, to our literally our ticket. This is the ticket here. Here, these two are the tickets, and this is traveling. So we cross the borders, and this is our visa here that we are seeing. And this is the visa that we have in hand here. Anyway, then we have the tower and the book. This points to our experiences. We will endure. We will see that we have some important life experiences here. We get more wisdom in our life. It's possible that a person in abroad who already has a lot of experience, he enlightens you. He tells you how the tricks and the trades. Maybe somebody close to you, and he's maybe there, he's like a kind of teacher, mentor for you, and he teaches you some tricks here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. In another way, if you work for the government, this sometimes can point also that you work for the government, but since the fox is also, these combinations sometimes can point to police or investigators for the government. And then here we see that we have a job that is related to secrecy in abroad. This could what it mean also, like you work for the government, but you're not dressed as a police officer, you operate in a secret way. This is what we see here also with these card. Anyway, this points that you might get more education in abroad, and somebody teaches you then in another way, teaches you the tricks of the trade. This person is already a long time there and he knows what it is. He tells you what to leak, not to leak, what to keep for yourself. There will be certain tests that you're undergoing, exams, tests here. Also on the front of legality, you will learn things, how far you can go, what is the limitations. This is what we are seeing here. It's like we are investigating something in abroad, or we teach ourselves in abroad. This person could be quite high placed or an authority in his field. It's possible also that you are confronted with an educational society in abroad that is actually not accessible for everyone. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. We see here that we retreat ourselves in secrecy, or we retreat to study. This is what we are seeing here. But here we will see that we get more knowledge here. We get more knowledge here. Some knowledge will be really selected out. This is knowledge that comes for the few here. Secret knowledge, things that are secret might come to you. So Libra, for the we have the other cross here, the dog, the tower, and the child. Here we see that there's a long-term friendship here. Maybe this here I didn't see that before, but maybe this person who educates you, he will become a long-time friend of you. This is what we are seeing here. Or it's possible he's been in your life before and you know him from before. Maybe you met in different conditions, maybe in study conditions, and now he becomes more your authority. This would be you. You are then the apprentice. He's the one in charge and he teaches you new things. The dog follows the authority here. This is then you who are younger, and you follow what is said here from a person with experience. Here you have also, there is respect here towards each other. This is what we are seeing here. It's possibly that you are confronted with situations that that concern the whole community where you are. And these secrets or these things regarding to that government are coming to you. You become aware here with this combination. But also not all will be revealed to you. There will be a certain distance. There will be a certain, this person will guard himself not to reveal everything, or maybe he's unable to. This is what we are seeing here. But here obeying the government is required here. For certain things that probably are requested for you, you have the ability to say no. So it depends on you here with this combination. If maybe some things are here said to you and you say, no, I'm not going to do that. Here, this is what we are seeing here. Or you ask some things to do and the person says, no, you are not allowed to do so. So here, this is what we are seeing here. But this person could be really in a top position. Maybe, as I said earlier, it's possible that his basic education has to do with the law, because the tower is often to the law, or he has a lot of knowledge about the law in that specific country abroad here, or the law in general. Then we here we see the next card here. Here we see that it's time to letting go of certain pasts. Here we release the past. Here we go in the new road that is offered to us. If there were certain things that were difficult in our past, we need to let go, because here we see that we want to shine our light. This points also again to the study, the education. This could even mean that you are confronted somehow with the university. Here, this is what we are seeing here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible that you are a little bit like the strange duck there in this education field. Maybe you are there for different reasons than the other people. This is what we see here, but the knowledge will become very appropriate for you. You will probably set certain boundaries if younger people or people approach you. It's like the communication or what you can communicate is limited. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. So Libra, for the matches or the fire group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. And remember that the water group is separated from the other 3, so you can check it out. It's in a separate video due to technical difficulties. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time on my channel, and you can check, of course, also the financial philosophical card reading that we do each month for your sign. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you and bye-bye for now.